Hello, my name is Ian Elliott. I represent the Central Washington Sentinel, an advocacy group providing alternate takes on current issues in Central Washington. In tonight's segment, we'll be posing questions to candidates about governmental transparency, the candidate's vision for the future of their jurisdiction, and how they will support economic opportunity in our county. All candidates were provided with questions beforehand and will be given 2 minutes to provide answers to each question. Before we get into the candidates' views, we'd like to offer a special thanks to Inland Networks and INTV for providing the production facilities and skills necessary to bring you these interviews. Okay, let's start off with our first question. You will have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and state the reasons you are running for this position.
My name is Doug Johnson. I'm a candidate for mayor of Roslyn. When I was about 8 or 10 years old, my parents took me up to Mount Rainier, up to Paradise, and we hiked around to the ice caves, and we had a wonderful day. And I remember driving home asking my parents if we could live in the mountains sometime. Of course, that wasn't feasible. We lived in the suburbs and my dad worked at Boeing. So, a little while later, we went camping at Sentinel, and I remember pulling off the road and heading up through Roslyn on the way to Sentinel, and I thought at that time, this is where I want to live. In 1975, that dream became a reality when I was hired to teach school here. I've lived here in the 44 years since then. I worked in the schools for a couple years, then I worked at the Forest Service. I was a contractor thinning trees. I became a building contractor for 3 years. I fought fires one summer, so I had a lot of experience in different kinds of jobs. And in 1979, I decided I cared enough about Roslyn to run for city council. I was elected and I served in the 1980s, and I served again in the 1990s for a while. And that's been my history in government so far. 25 years later, I have retired. We are finished raising our family. So I always wanted to serve as mayor sometime, and now that I'm retired and have the time, I have chosen to do it at this time. I also ran a tutoring business for 5 years, so I know about running a small business. Being a building contractor for 3 years also helped me on that. I taught for a total of 38 years, from second grade to university level. I taught in 4 schools in Kittitas County, so I know the area well. I wanted to serve, so that's why I'm running for mayor at this time.
What is your vision for Roslyn in 5 years, in 10 years, and the long term?
My vision for Roslyn is that we maintain the character of a Roslyn that brought most of us here. I know it's what brought me here. I would like to continue to have a thriving business community that we seem to have now. I would like to continue to have healthy forests that are fire resistant. I'd like to live in a town on into the future that doesn't burn down, which is an issue here. We've had 2 fires in the area in the last 10 years, and both of those fires were pretty major fires. I believe that we need a town of transparency, of cooperation, of clarity, and a mayor that has oversight and knows what's going on and has time to go to meetings and help with people that are volunteering for our city. And I believe we need to show great gratitude for our staff members and our committees. The job of the mayor is to listen, to ask questions, to listen some more, to organize, and to bring these issues to the council. The mayor doesn't vote, the council votes. The mayor is in charge of organizing and running meetings. And my vision for the city is we have a very cooperative and citizen-involved city. We need to listen to our committees. We have a Roslyn Downtown Association. That's a business community that we need to listen to. We have a Citizens Advisory Committee that works on the forest issues around town. I believe we need to listen to these people. I believe we need to make these committees more robust than they are now, get all 7 members on the Citizens Advisory Committee. We also have a Planning and Historical Preservation Committee, and the name of that committee says it all. Historical preservation is important. I would like to see that committee be very robust on into the future so we maintain what we have. I would like to see a town that has a hardware store again. A hardware store can be an economic multiplier. People come in and to buy a fitting for a sink, then they go to lunch, maybe they get an ice cream, maybe they tour the bike store and end up buying a new bicycle for somebody, like their kid. I would like to see a town that has some light manufacturing so we can get some jobs, some more jobs into the city. This might have to happen east of City Hall and some of those flatlands we have out there. Another thing I'd like to see is a robust recycling program here. We don't have a robust recycling program now, and we're losing the part of the program that did the glass recycling. We need some more alternatives for helping keep our whole country, our state, our city green as possible.
What can Rosslyn do to create a robust and diverse economic environment in Rosslyn?
Roslyn started off as a mining town. The mining ended in 1963. Roslyn also had a lot of logging. The logging has pretty much ended around here. However, Roslyn has always survived. Roslyn is resilient. The citizens are what make Roslyn resilient. There are new opportunities and challenges coming up all the time. One of our new challenges, of course, is a tidal wave of population change coming over here, both visitors and people buying houses here, many of whom don't live here, but they own property here. We need to keep our character when we promote a robust economy. That's why we have a Planning and Historical Preservation Committee. It is our job also to encourage business wherever we can. We need to encourage a new hardware store if we can get it. We need to encourage light manufacturing if possible. I would love to see some renewable energy. Maybe that we can make solar panels here. We have some space east of City Hall. We don't have additional space in the city proper itself. But it's up to us to encourage and accommodate whatever businesses we can attract.
How do you view the city's relationship with Kittitas County? What can you do to facilitate increased cooperation between Roslyn and the other local government?
We already have a cooperative agreement with Cle Elum and South Cle Elum on the police force. This is a good thing. We also should encourage cooperative agreements on how to avoid and respond to wildfire. I would like to see the towns get together and talk about firewising around the towns. I would like to see the towns get together and talk about how they firewise within their towns. We also could get county help on this. They have resources, and the city of Ellensburg is also subject to wildfire, especially with the winds they have down there. We need to figure out evacuation routes to get out of Roslyn. There are thousands of people in Roslyn and the surrounding environment up towards the lake. How we get all these people out of town in an emergency would be a real problem. We've seen this problem a little bit on some of the weekends when we have so many visitors here. You can hardly get around the streets. If we had people panicking trying to get out of town, we would have a real problem. Another place we can cooperate with the county and the other cities is in the recycling program, which is not very robust now. I'd like to see a way to get the waste stream recycled and not sent to the landfill. That is something we can talk about with the county and with Cle Elum and South Cle Elum. Another issue we have that we may be able to discuss with Cle Elum and the county is housing. We are running out of building lots here. There are about 200 left in Roslyn. I'd like to figure out how we can accommodate more people moving into the area if we can.
How will you address the current parking problems present in Roslyn?
We have a real parking problem in town on busy weekends in the summer especially. Over Labor Day weekend, there were cars parked all the way up 3rd Street almost to the top, and I know this is true of many of the streets around town. I do agree with the city that we should restrict parking garages and parking lots in the downtown core area from 903 to 4th Street along Pennsylvania Avenue. We have parking possibilities east of town near the parking lot we presently have. Maybe I would like to see us be able to increase the parking over there and encourage walking into town for people.
How would you make Roslyn city government more user-friendly?
I would like to see the comments for the public. Part of the city council meeting is extended to 5 minutes so people don't get cut off at the 3-minute limit. I think we could send out flyers with the bills that are informational and explain to the citizens what's going on in town. I think we need to listen to the Citizens Advisory Committee. the Rosslyn Planning and Historical Commission, and the Rosslyn Downtown Association. More than we are, these committees consist of volunteers that are putting in lots of time and lots of effort, and we need to validate that, we need to celebrate it, we need to show gratitude for what they do. I'm retired, I can attend some of these meetings. I think that would be helpful. I want the committees to be robust, functional, and full with 7 members each on the Planning Commission and on the Citizens Advisory Committee. I especially want to show gratitude to all citizens that come to the meetings to offer input, and to all people that serve as volunteers. These are very committed people and they're doing it without compensation. No mayor can know it all. A mayor's job isn't to know it all. A mayor's job is to solicit input, to organize, to prioritize, to bring issues to the council, and to help smooth things out in the city.
What is your opinion of the state of operational transparency in Roslyn?
We should have easy access to the government. I know some citizens don't feel like it's available to them as much as it should be. The council meeting minutes are now available up through June of 2019. Until recently, it was March of 2018. I would like to make the council meeting minutes available before the next council meeting so people can look at what happened and know what to do next. I'd like to build our committees back up to 7 members and validate and listen and show gratitude towards those committees for the hard work they do. I would ask the committee members and the citizens what they want. It's not our job to dictate, it's our job to act and respond to citizens' concerns, citizen questions, and citizen needs. I would also ask the staff what they want. They are the experts on their jobs. The mayor isn't the expert on the job. So I would like to see the staff validated and show gratitude towards the staff too.
Do you envision planned or multi-unit development standards for Roslyn?
This is a complicated and nuanced question. We have a Planning and Historical Preservation Commission. They call it that for a reason, maintaining the historical character of the town. They work tirelessly to research and develop standards. We thank them for that. I'm not automatically for or against multi-unit development. It could help with our housing problem. It just has to be done right. We only have 200 building sites left. As the population increases, we're going to have to find a way to get more people to be able to live in Roslyn. The mayor provides a platform for discussion and input. Committees recommend. The council decides. This is a process, and this is a process I would follow.
What can city government do to solve future social and income inequality issues as Roslyn grows?
This is a real problem in Roslyn today. In 1975, I bought my first house in Roslyn for $12,000. In 1978, I bought my second house for $10,000. I was working on a teacher's salary at the first house at $9,000 a year. A new teacher can now make $40,000 or so a year. But a house now costs $200,000, $300,000 or more. Water and sewer bills used to be $17.50 a month. Now they're $125 or so. This is a big problem that Roslyn cannot solve on its own. We're going to need some help. It is a big problem throughout America. We need help from the state and the federal governments. We can talk to state representatives Tom Dent, Alex Ibarra. We can talk to State Senator Judith Warnick. And we can talk to Kim Schreier, who has offered to come to Roslyn before. These are the avenues that are available to us to address this problem of income inequality.
How can Roslyn harmonize an active downtown area with surrounding residential areas?
I feel that Roslyn is presently harmonized pretty well between the town and the residential areas. Over Labor Day weekend, I went to the parade, I walked around the fair, I walked over to the logging show. I walked through some residential areas. It seemed like everything was very pleasant. People were friendly. Everything was going fine. Harmony is a state of mind as much as it is a state of fact. And I feel like the citizens of Roslyn get along pretty well. I feel like we respect the downtown area and its businesses and what they offer to us. We also have a Roslyn Downtown Association to help make decisions about businesses. And we have the Planning Commission to help make sure that everything runs smoothly as far as what we build and where we build it. Remember, a mayor asks, listens, coordinates, and brings all shareholders to the conversation. This may involve some development east of the City Hall to get more businesses in town.
How will you accommodate future commercial development in Roslyn?
The Rosslyn Downtown Association and the Planning and Historical Preservation Commissions will have ideas on this. Hopefully we can get a hardware store back into town because that is an economic multiplier. I would work with the committees to see if we can grow the business community without compromising our town's main attraction, which is its character and the character of the surrounding hillsides. Maybe we would be able to expand to the east, behind City Hall, where there's lots of open ground.
How will you address the issue of affordable housing in Roslyn?
This is a critical problem for people moving in to Roslyn that have working jobs. Half of the homes are owned by people that don't live here full-time. Roslyn is not a rich city financially. Again, this problem can only be addressed with help from the state and federal programs. We would open the dialogue with Alex Ibarra, Tom Dent, Judith Warnick, and Kim Schreier. I would like to thank Central Washington Sentinel and the networks for the opportunity to present my case as candidate for Roslyn Mayor. My name is Doug Johnson, and I would appreciate the offer to serve the city of Roslyn. Thank you very much.
That concludes our interview. I'm Ian Elliott with the Central Washington Sentinel, and we'd like to thank you for watching. Also, we'd like to thank INTV for their production of this series. If you'd like to watch other interviews, please check out our website at centralwashingtonsentinel.com. And please don't forget to vote.